So we're looking at how to initiate Git in the Cupcake website project we already have. So we've been looking at how to initiate Git in the Cupcake website project we already have. So for us to get started with this, we'll just go through um, a few steps. So first of all, we'll go to our code editor, which is VS Code. If you already have, like in our last class, we looked at how to install VS Code. So it's kind of like a simple code editor to install. So you just go to VS Code, you click on open, and yeah, so once you click on open, you look for where you drop the Cupcake website. So in my case, is in under the folder projects. Under the folder projects, you have Cupcake website. So I'm just going to open it. I'm just going to open it with VS Code. So here we have it. This is the Cupcake website. You have these two files showing here. I'm just going to move this to the right, so it's going to look more like the ones you have in other systems. Although I prefer my nav bar being at the left. It's just a personal preference. You can move to the right, you can move to the left. Why I prefer it at the right is just for the essence that it doesn't really, my code does not shift as I'm opening the right now. So you have this button called the Explorer button. You can click here to see the files. You can see the index of HTML file. You can see the style, the CSS. We'll be editing this file with Git, and we'll be making changes and tracking changes to this file with Git. So for us to track changes in this file, we need to initialize Git in this project. So for us to do that, we're going to if you're using a Mac, you can always press command space. That will open a spotlight search where you can search for things. If you're using Windows, just scroll over to your search button on your Windows and search for CMD. That will be the command. You open command prompt on Windows, but for those who use Mac or you're using Linux, you're going to be using terminal. I think Linux also use terminal. Most Linux distros use terminal. I'm sure about Ubuntu also. So we have the project here. We have our terminal. Normally it starts from like a clear window, like from the index, from the index window. So sometimes, so we have to navigate to where our project is located. So what you just do is to do CD, and I'm going to do CD to projects. So if I say ls, it's going to list out the projects I have here. Guys, you can see the projects I have here, just a few projects. So I'm just going to do CD to projects. If I do ls now, it's going to list out the projects I have here. I'm just going to clear this, and I'm going to say cd to my project file, which is Cupcake website, and this will open the Cupcake website. So we'll just gone through the first steps. Right now we're inside the Cupcake website. To verify that we're in the Cupcake website, I'm just going to type ls. If I do ls like this, it's going to verify that we're in Cupcake website. If I verify, you can see index.html and the style.css showing here. If I go to my code editor, you can always see like we have the index.html file and you have the style.css. One more thing I want to show you before we go into the next part of this class is you need to download a particular extension. The extensions will help you work with this, but there's a popular extension that I normally use, and the name of the extension is Live Server. It's just for running your application, just for creating a server that will run a server environment that runs the application once you're running it. So it's just very useful to use Live Server because I use it once in a while to go live. I just come here, you can see this stuff. Okay, I just come here, let me just I just go live. I can choose to go live with this, so I'll just come here and right click and I'll say open with Live Server. So you can see here I can open this with Live Server, and this will open on my window with Live Server, and I can just edit it. I can just look at the changes that are being done on the website, but we're going to do this later. So I'm just going to go back to my terminal window. So in my terminal, I'm going to clear, I'm just going to clear for now. You can simply press clear to clear all you've written in your terminal. If you're using command prompt, you use CLS. That's also a clear command for command prompt. Although Mac users and and Linux users can you normally use Git, normally use clear. For those using Windows, use CLS, which still means clear screen. That's what it means. So now, right now, we're going to write our first command, and that's git init. So we're going to initialize Git in our project. When you type git init, it's going to initialize Git in your project. So we just did git init, and it just did that for us. So we just created a Git project. Same way using master branch to check all this. When we go to branches, we'll look at all this later. But you can see now that if you check out this thing, you can see here it shows has source control. You can see that your code, it shows like it has this U later on your code. It means that it's unmarked. And if you go to your terminal, if I click outside here, you can see that both of these are green in color. This signifies that Git is already tracking your project, and it means that these two files are currently on track. Although it's tracking this directory, these two files are untracked. There's some initial configurations that we need to do for things to just get working. In order to track changes to your website, you need to do some initial configurations. And this initial configuration is setting up your profile on Git itself. So you have to configure your username and your email on Git. So the way you do it is by typing these two commands: git config global your name, user.name, your name, and git config global user.email, your email. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to return to this. I'm going to open my terminal. I'm going to say git config. I'm going to use the flag -- global. I'm going to say user.name, and I'm just going to choose Emeka Allison. That's my normal global name, Emeka Allison. So that'll be my global name. Now say git config -- global user.email, and I'm just going to write my email, which is this. I'm just going to type in. So you're going to type in your email. For once of this video, I'm not going to type in my email here, because I don't want people to spam me. But you can actually do this to your own email and set this up so you have a global name on your site, on Git. So once Git is tracking changes, why this is important is so when Git is tracking changes, it could actually identify who is doing the changes. So to identify, it associates any change that is made but with your username and with your email address. So if you make a change, it's going to know, okay, this particular person at this time made a change, and this is what he did. And when you collaborate with others, it's always good to know who did the change and at what time they did the change. So you know, okay, this person is responsible for this change. Why this person make this change? You can always communicate with the person to know why the change was made. And yeah, so it's default changes. So you avoid having to set this up when you're trying to do commits. While you're setting this up while you're doing this global distance, because when you're trying to do commit, Git will still tell you to set this up, set up your username, set up your email to track your changes, to track who's doing changes. Because if you don't do this, Git is still going to require you to do this. So that's why it's important to set this as you're going on. So that's it for our class. See you in the next video where we talk about we'll do a recap of what we've learned so far.